What is up, guys? It is Farzy here, and boy oh boy, today is a big day. It is episode 250 in my survival world. Did you guys not hear that? Episode 250! So to celebrate today, we're gonna do a big old world tour of this over 5-year-old Minecraft world, and also give you guys a free world download. So if you want to play this world for yourself, check the links down below. I got a Java and a Bedrock download. And before we start, the last thing I do want to say is a vast majority of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you like the content, please consider subscribing. So all that being said, let's begin the world tour. Where do we even begin? There's just so much to tackle, so I guess I'll just start walking around and just kind of monologuing to you guys. So back in 2016, I spawned right in this little grassy area. I saw a cool cave, I saw some cows, I said, this place is nice, so I posted up and started building here. Technically, I started building inside of a cave house, but I'll get to that a little bit later. But here is my kingdom. Back when the world started, I wanted to make a gigantic city, a rustic, like medieval kind of themed place, so I did. I started making buildings, I made some big kingdom walls and a castle, and now we have a kingdom. Now, I'm not going to go inside of every single building and talk about it, because that'll take way too long. So if you want to go look into all the interiors, get the world download and play this for yourself. But let's talk about some of the important buildings, like Marty's Meat Shack. I'm just kidding, it's just a meat butcher store. But right there's my first ever build in the kingdom, which was a giant watchtower, very newbie, very flat. Here was my first ever horse stable, where I have some horses, some llamas, and this idiot. And that takes us to a crossroads. Over here is the housing district, over here is the financial district. I tried to make districts in this world, so there's like certain places for certain things, but it's not just like, oh, a bunch of houses everywhere, but everything has its purpose in the world. So I guess we'll start over here in the financial district. So I call it this because there's a lot of like city buildings, like tall buildings, like clock towers, there's a hotel there, just big building. Here's my first ever barn for animals, which I don't use anymore because I have automatic farms now, but still pretty cool to look back at this place. I have my clock tower, not inspired by Fortnite at all. And the big thing you'll see in this kingdom is every building has some sort of like practical use for the lore of the world. Like for example, here's a clay shop. I'm never gonna come here to get clay, ever. I'll just go to a swamp biome and just mine clay myself. But it's kind of fun to think like, oh, someone's selling clay here. It must be a villager named Barney. And Barney's wife lives here and she sells meat in the butcher shop down here, and she has blood on the floor because she's a psychopath. But you see what I mean? It's just fun to like make stories in the world. It's very entertaining. It makes the world so much more fun to play on, you know, considering it's over 5 years old now. Over here is another big hotel with a pool. Look at this. Dive bomb!
If I could take you up in paradise up above, if you would tell me I'm the only one that you love.
Over here is an amazing building, which is actually my museum. Not the most grand building in the world, but the interior is just absolutely, wait for it, chef's kiss. Inside of here, I have all my favorite blocks and sentimental blocks to me, such as my first ever bed, it really is, and my first ever pickaxe. Once again, it really is. And the fact I have these builds saved is just so cool to me. The fact that I can look at this and say, this was made in 2016 when I had no facial hair and a squeaky voice. What is up, guys? It is Farzy here. Up here are some more rare items, such as my first notch apple, a zombie head, and of course, my birthday cakes, which I put down every single birthday I have in this world. So I guess I've had 4 birthdays in this world, which doesn't seem to add up mathematically, but who cares? It's old. I don't use this much anymore. The last known pigman sword. If you guys didn't know, I'm a zombie pigman skin, so when they vaulted them, I got the last sword I found from one of them and put it here forever. So yeah, that is my museum, and let's carry on outside. Down here we have some restaurants, some cafes, a little armory, and take a sharp little turn out this way, we have a little pond area, which I made all custom-y. I made it all detailed and textured. Still a lot of torches around the place, but ignore those. I spent the last like week just trying to hide torches, but apparently I missed a spot, so sorry world downloaders, I'm sorry. And we're kind of wandering now into the housing district. As mentioned earlier, it's just a little place for houses to be, for villagers to, you know, sleep and breed and do their jobs, so yeah, the housing area. Now I'm gonna guess something caught your eye, something big, green, and ugly. And that is my treehouse. I'm gonna show off my treehouse because this is probably my biggest build in the world. Not probably, of course it is. Look at it. But yeah, if we go out this little kingdom wall, we go into this vast jungle with a creepy villager standing on a tree. Buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing? But yeah, through this custom jungle, we reach the tree house. Look at this thing. It's wonderful. Little piston door action. Bada boom, bada bam. Look at this. Hello, Jackson. How you doing? It's World Tour Day. How you doing? Jackson's busy hiding from law enforcement. He's a tax evader. But yeah, this treehouse was inspired by Captain Sparkle's Jerry tree. Are you guys old enough to know that? If you don't, Google it. It's a giant treehouse that Captain Sparkle's made. But I loved Captain Sparkle's growing up, so I wanted to make a treehouse just like him. So I did. In fact, funny enough, I think I made my kingdom with the inspiration of Captain Sparkle's too, because he had the whole Fallen Kingdom music video years ago. So Captain Sparkle, shout out to you, man. There's a beautiful sunset in the distance, so I'm going to sleep. But first, look at this view. That is amazing. Ah! That was all part of my plan, I swear. Well, screaming aside, at the top of the treehouse, we have a mob farm, which I thought was a really cool idea because I got this big canopy of a tree. I figure, put it to good use. I fell again. At the risk of falling again, I made this mob farm to get mob loot, okay? All right, off we go. In fact, let's go flying a little bit. Let's go cruising around the place for a bird's eye view. Look at everything here. Up here is like another kind of a housing shopping area. We have an aquarium down there. We have a little like, what is that? Some sort of shop or something. And one thing I'm really proud of in this world is over here, I kept the natural landscape of this hill. I used the hill kind of as like a building ground for houses. So I can go up this little mountainside, hillside, and there's houses going up higher and higher. It's a really cool kind of visual effect that I did. So small tip for you builders, don't flatten out everything. Use the environment to your advantage. Now over here is my newer area. These builds are probably built this year, I want to say. There's like an armory shop here. There's a mob head shop. And one of my favorite builds of all time, which is a flower field. And I built this flower field thanks to B00, another Minecraft YouTuber. He made a build kind of like this and I fell in love with it. So I said, I'm going to build my own flower field. And one thing you'll notice a lot in my world is I take a lot of inspiration from other Minecraft YouTubers. Not in like a copying way, but in a collaborative way, where if I see someone else making a cool build, I say I want to add that to my amazing world and try to either make it different or better, or just have it because it looks cool. Over this way is a shipping port for ships to bring me treasure and loot and imports. Ah, Mr. Foxington, what do you have for me today? Any goodies? Any loot? What is that? A string? A lead? What do you have? It looks like a fish. Thank you. I will boop you on the snoot. I forgot these guys were in here. Be free. Free range chickens. Oh, only one. You guys are too slow. And your prize for escaping is death. I'll look over here. This is my nature area. This is like my berry orchard. I grow exotic plants. I pick berries. I farm stuff, including flowers. And I have undead horses hiding in the corners. Why are you here? But look at this design. I have apples inside of these trees, which you can't actually see because of the leaf texture, but I put apples. Well, they're berries, but they look like apples. But anyways, some more cool details. Look at this, a bucket of smushed berries, a berry vineyard orchard thing. We got beehives, we got growing these pears or something. They're sea pickles, but they're pears. And this area here is kind of like the farmer's area. So there's a windmill, there's a big wheat field, there's some bamboo groves up ahead. This whole area is just meant for farming stuff. Not really, it's more like for display, but it is, you know, for farming stuff. You know the deal. Now here's a really, really cool sci-fi build area that I made pretty recently. Over here is the end of the kingdom houses. These are all villager houses, pretty normal stuff. But over here is just a dense forest. You'd think it's just normal old woods, right? But secretly, the government, who also lives in this medieval kingdom somehow, didn't think that one through, put this sneaky forest here so the villagers won't see the secret government experimental lab and all this crazy stuff. We got UFOs abducting cows. We have an observatory to find more UFOs. We have a science lab for evil projects. And in the back, there's some chemical stuff. But anyways, let's hop inside the lab. First, do a little retina scan. Zoop. And we're in. That was the worst retina scan noise I could have ever made. But this lab is hidden for a reason. There are some shady things going on inside of here, such as the bee weaponization project. We're zapping a bee with redstone to make him radioactive and take over the kingdom. I don't know. Over here is the sticky TNT project, the interdimensional rock study, the armor strength testing site, and upstairs we have the plant study, the ender dragon study. You get the gist. Just a lot of cool evil studies. Well, I guess not plants, but everything else evil. You see, I had like no sci-fi builds in the world, so I said I want to make something that looks a little bit, you know, out of the norm of the whole rustic kingdom theme, and I made all this stuff and it looks really cool. I love UFOs, by the way. Look at this. So cool. Well, that's that's about it for all the main kingdom builds. But right outside the kingdom, we actually have a place on the water. We have a fishing village right out here. Check this out. I actually made this place really early on in the world's history. I made this in like the first year of the world, and it came out really cool for the time. It's kind of outdated now, but it is nice. Before it was a villager haven, but now it's a ghost town because I killed them all. Wait, I didn't say that. They all went to the lighthouse and had a party and didn't return. I didn't kill them. I might have killed them. Now out over this way, I have a giant ocean bridge to lead across the ocean, but the cool build is right in front of it. Check out this. This is my pirate cove. It's like a crashed pirate ship and all their loot's on the floor and all the pirates probably perished unfortunately, but look at all this cool stuff. Even got their banners. But you might think, hey Farzy, this is pretty cool, but wait till you see the real reason we have a pirate cove. Oh, in the water? Oh, is there something underwater? There is. The locals think that's a crashed pirate ship. No one's there. But secretly, the pirates intentionally crashed that ship there so no one would suspect to look underneath to their hidden pirate cove. They swim down here underwater, passing some pickles and some coral, and they come to their pirate hangout. This is my favorite build in the whole world, my underground pirate cove. This took me so long to make, so much wasted hours. Well, not wasted, but a lot of hours put into this place. We got Mutiny Martin, we got Schlimmy Jr., and we have a couple of taverns and a bar. Here's the Groggy Tavern. Across the way here is an armory for pirates to get their gear all fixed up. Here is a bounty, Buccaneer's Bounty. This is a little restaurant. I forgot about this place. And here's another crashed pirate ship, which actually has an inside because I'm such a good builder. For lying, I have to walk the plank. Goodbye, cruel world. But jokes aside, one thing you'll notice about this world is I am not the best builder. There's much better builders out there in the Minecraft community, but one thing I love doing is just adding lore and adding my own personal touch to things. Like, I'm sure I could have made a much better pirate ship, or I could have made this island a little bit nicer, but overall, I did this all by hand. I didn't use a tutorial, I just did this in my own brain, so I'm really proud of it. So I should say I suggest that you guys try doing the same thing. Don't watch tutorials, besides mine of course, but try building using your own creativity. Now we're just about done with the kingdom part of the tour, but I do want to quickly go show off some cool builds outside of the kingdom. Over here is farmland. Farmland is a place where I can keep all my automatic farms away from my spawn chunks. If you guys don't know, automatic farms can cause lag, so I put these away from where I usually stay, so I won't get lag that often. So yeah, hello. Little chicken farm here, little reed farm here for sugar cane, and yeah, it has this cool little birch design. I don't use birch in the kingdom usually, so it's a cool place to, you know, spruce it up. Not spruce it up, birch it up. That sounds weird. I'm not saying the right things, I'm sorry. And here we are at the science lab with some free dirt. Thank you, I think. This lab here is a place to farm and study amethyst, but I am too busy to do this myself. I'm lazy, I'm busy. So I decided to hire the Chief Officer of Science, Broderick! Scientist, Doctor, Chief Officer, Broderick. His name is Broderick, okay? Broderick is the smartest mob in the game. I stand by that. He is incredibly smart. And he sits here, he studies amethyst, he writes notes about it, here's his whole thesis, hypothesis, research, all this fun stuff. And he's super reactive. Ready? Broderick, if this world tour is going great, go to that piece of leather. If it's not, go to this telescope. See, he knows the right answer. I just got roasted. Okay, we're back here at the start of our kingdom, and we're gonna go into the cave house. As I mentioned earlier, when I first spawned here, I did two things. One, I made a cave house. Two, I made a kingdom. But cave house was the first thing I made. So let's hop down these ladders and take a look at the underground cave house. Look at this place. Very simply put, when I first spawned, I saw a mob spawner down here. It's actually right under this glass, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll make a little spawner here, and I'll live here. And I ended up making it bigger and bigger and bigger, and now it's just this massive cave house. I will note, when I made this cave house, I did have inspiration from Ethos Lab, who has an amazing man cave in his solo world. But yeah, let's tour around. Over here is my chest room, which is newly redesigned with color coding, item frames, glow berries, all this fun stuff. Back over here is a world map, which actually looks wonderful. Look at this. I still gotta build some more up there in like that area and that area, but the middle, that is a dense area of land, I'll tell you that much. Over here is my bed and my jeb. Over here is my disco room for disco breaks. Did someone say disco break? If you're new here, just go with it. I don't care what Broderick says. This world tour is going great. The things I do for my fans. Over here across from the chest room, this is actually my first ever farm. I made this on, I think, day 4 in my world, and I kept it here because it's nostalgic to me. So yeah, that's my farm. As we waltz over the mob spawner, over here is my nether lab. Oh, big deal, Farzy. You got brewing stands. Who cares? Wait for it. Wait for it. When the Nether update came out, I wanted to make a cool build to, you know, celebrate. So I made a lab to capture all the mobs and study them, all the blocks, and all this fun stuff. So I really love this build. It's probably my 3rd favorite build in the world. I think it goes Pirate Cove, Treehouse, Nether Lab, but still a really cool build. Up over here is my library, inspired by Dallas Med, who is a Bedrock YouTuber, but he used the idea of putting enchanted books around bookshelves, almost like it's a real library. So I have to go search for my enchantments and take the book out and then bring it all the way over here and use it on the anvil. It's a really cool system, so I love this design. Out over here is my inspiration room where I can look at different blocks and kind of pick palettes for future builds. Over here is an AFK mob spawner area where I have a nice little AFK room, aka a pool with a pup. Pool and a pup. Nothing better. Hey, pup. Over here is a redstone lab, so I can test redstone experiments. And what? Why is there a homie there? And why did he kill a fish? Here's my indoor flower garden, which leads over to my excavation site, my fossil dig area, where we have big dinosaur bone digger people digging up fossils. How cool is that? I use slabs and stairs to make little like indentations in the stone, and it makes it look like we're digging away, chipping away with our pickaxe, going bop, bop. Oh. Also, down at the bottom of this whole place is a giant quarry to get slime balls. I don't go down there often, but if you're curious. And back over this way, a sheep farm over there. Why are you out of water, dude? What are you doing? Down this staircase is actually my mob biome rooms, where I have like a little biome model for each, you know, biome in the game. And I put some mobs in there too that kind of fit the theme of it. Like, here's a Badlands, here's a snowy something, here's underwater, here's nether. We got end, we got flower forest, and here's just the unfinished cave part I haven't touched yet. So yeah, guys, that is about it for this world. There's some small things I haven't covered, but they're not super important, so I'm gonna leave it there. That is my world. Over 5 years old. Lots of love, lots of blood, not blood, but sweat and tears in this world. Definitely didn't bleed from this world. But yeah, I started my channel with the idea of making the best survival world in Minecraft history. And even though it's probably not the best ever, it's really, really good, and I'm super proud of my progress. So yeah, I'm happy where we're at. And I plan to keep making videos in this world for a long, long time, barring corruption. Fingers crossed. But that being said, we have to go to a very special place that we go to every single episode. Up there is the comment rainbow. Every episode, I get my favorite comment from the previous episode, and I call it the comment of the day. And I smack that bad boy up in the comment rainbow. So once again, for episode 250, let's go get the comment of the day. And today, in the comment rainbow, we have a new comment by a semi-new viewer with a very nice comment for me. And this commenter's name is Connor Huff, and Connor says, "Can't wait for the world download, and your channel has grown so much since October 2020. Keep up the great work." Thank you, Connor. And Connor is so correct. My channel is growing very fast. So is the world, and so is my community. So thank you guys so much for all the support. I hope you enjoyed episode 250's world tour and world download. If you guys are confused how to play on my world, I'll be making a tutorial on Monday about how to play world download, so just wait for that if you need help. But that being said, guys, thank you so much for the support. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and I'll talk to you guys next time. So until then, goodbye.